Hi everybody, my name is Chris, and this is the Indy Racing League IndyCar game. So there hasn't been an IndyCar game, full-fledged IndyCar game, released since 2002. This is the last IndyCar game made. So I do have a hard physical copy from 2002. It surprisingly still works on my computer, but we are going to be running the Indianapolis 500 mode in this game. So we'll go ahead and start a new race. Yes, we are sure. We're going to be driving as Ari Lyondike in the number 5 Meyer car. We are going to be doing about 20 laps and skill level. So what this kind of means is that easy, you can't do any damage to the car. Normal, you can damage stuff like uh, oil, like electronics, minor damage to the wheels, but nothing that's going to take you out of the race. And then there's Pro, which is full damage model that the game has. But yeah, we're gonna be going through
Fifth
and
race of the
we're gonna watch this
IRL
video.
season brings us here to the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, home of the legendary Indianapolis 500. Run since 1911, the Indy 500 is the most famous motor race in the world, drawing a crowd of over 400,000 people and a worldwide TV audience of millions. The Indy 500 is the centerpiece of the IRL calendar, and victory here is the crowning achievement of any racing career. Largely unchanged since its construction, the Indianapolis Motor Speedway has 4 turns, each banked at 9 degrees and measuring exactly 440 yards from entrance to exit. Linked together by a pair of long straights and 2 short straights to form a rectangular shaped 2.5-mile track that fits the boundaries of the original plot of land almost exactly. The unique size and length of this track always makes for a thrilling and action-packed race. The uniqueness of this track is matched by its qualification procedure, which is designed to filter out the large entry list down to a field of 33 drivers. This is the only race in the season where a poor qualification time could lead to you being bumped off the starting grid. Don't forget, though, that this is a tough race, and victory does not go to the driver who leads the field at the first corner, but to the one who most effectively combines stamina, skill, and strategy. Pace yourself, take it easy, and above all, soak up the atmosphere of the greatest spectacle in racing.
Alrighty, so maybe in some future episodes or stuff like that, we can mess around with test drive, but that's where you can kind of set your qualifying trim and your race trim. So you can set like the wing angle, the gear ratios, dampers, suspension, stuff like that. Really fine tune it to be as fast as possible. We're just gonna rock with the basic setup that I've either used in the past or that comes with the game. We're gonna go right into qualification. So looking into qualification, we got looks like an early pull here. So we're gonna go ahead and get started here. Looking for like a 231. Anything above 231 is gonna be fast. We're gonna put in 8 laps of fuel. Keep wing angle. We'll keep it at 1 degree, and we'll get running. Nice, beautiful red and white livery there. Coca-Cola sponsorship on the side. So if you're unfamiliar with this game, which I'm sure you are, on the bottom right, you can see how many laps of fuel you have remaining. The number 4 there, or like the number that's changing there in the bottom right, is the fuel mix. So 7 is full rich, 0 is for like caution, or it's like no fuel mix. Let's say if you have a yellow flag and you need to save fuel, you switch it down to 0. The plus or minus there, that is the weight jacker. So if you're having a really hard time balancing the car, or it's not cornering very well or stuff like that, or it doesn't feel good, you could change how much of the weight is sitting on the front wheels versus the back wheels to hopefully increase or better the balance of your race car. It also tells you the speed and the gears there. Down on the bottom left, you can kind of see like the damage model, like the different parts you could break, as well as like the tire temperatures slash degradation over the course of an entire race. At the top left, you can see we're on our out lap, getting the car up to speed and warming up the tires, and then we're starting our lap, our first qualification lap, once we pass the start finish line here. So I think there is versions of this game online that you can download, but it's very tricky. I tried to do it myself too, just in case if I lost my physical copy, but I could not get it to actually work. So it's not the easiest times, but having a physical actual copy of the game, it still runs on the most updated Windows computers. Somehow, you just have to have for most computers an external CD drive, so that we could put the CD in, so the CD could be read. So we're going into turn 3 on our first lap here. Mainly, your main goal is to try to go flat out for all 4 corners. Now you will have to occasionally lift up like I did there. Just make sure you don't slam into the side of the outside barrier, which is very easy to do in this game. So our first lap, 2:31.36. That's pretty good. It's normally, if you keep that pace up for all 4 laps, it's typically good enough to be either pole or most definitely on the first row. And so if you're unfamiliar with IndyCar or the Indy 500, there's 33 cars that qualify for the race. And they line up 3 wide. So there's 11 rows of 3. And in real life, I don't know. I'm assuming the way this game is structured for qualification for IndyCar is how they used to do it back then in 2002. But today, in modern day, the way that qualification mainly works is that drivers on the first day of qualification will set the field for positions 13 through 30. Now, the reason why they do that is they leave the bottom 3 eligible to be removed off the race, and then they let the top 12 rerun to see if they can get a faster time, or to try to like better filter out the top 12 set of drivers. So, for example, the bottom 3 positions 31 through 33 are set the following day, where however many extra cars over 33 are in the field will compete to try to make it into the field, and then whoever's outside of that or slower than the slowest 33 or the fastest 33 will not race in Indy 500. And then that same day they'll do the fast 12, where the top 12 fastest drivers will rerun again, where then the top 6 fastest drivers will run for what's called the fast 6, and that will determine who races on pole the Sunday of Memorial Day. So we're finishing up our last lap here, going through turn 3 and turn 4. Pretty solid qualification run. We'll see how fast this lap is. Might determine whether if we get first or second. We got 2 laps of fuel, and then here we go. Pretty solid last lap. I'm sure it's going to be pole, but let's check it out. It's pole for now. We'll kind of skip ahead to see. Here's like the bump day. We'll let this kind of run. So DeFerrin, oh, interesting. He's gonna be the back of the field. Normally he's one of the ones in the front row or second row. Looks like we're still on pole at the 2:31. The next highest is a 2:30.9. So I think we do have pole, at least right now. And then looks like George Max on the bubble. He does get bumped. So does that. I can't remember that. Didn't see who that driver was. But quite a few drivers getting bumped off the track or off the race, which is quite interesting. I don't think I've ever seen this many drivers bump into the race. We'll see if this continues. But it looks like the next driver needs a faster than a 2:16.6 to make it into the race. So we'll see. It looks there's one more Treadway. We'll kind of skip this just because it is taking quite a long time. Except we're sitting on pole there. It's kind of like, it lets you kind of like cycle through like where the drivers are placing on the field. But we're gonna go ahead and just click enter. Put our fuel map to 0, just that way we're saving some fuel for these next 2 turns before they start, to try to even get a better edge on our competition here. So there's gonna be 2 orange traffic cones on the catch fence that signify the start, like when you could accelerate. So here we'll go to full rich, fuel 7. And then wait for the pace car to pull off. And gun it. Looks like Elio got a nice jump on us too. Sam Hornish Jr. not much of a jump. We will have the lead coming into turn 1 here. The tires are going to be coldish, so we'll take it easy during this turn. Actually did hit it really well, so we were able to go flat out, which is always nice. Turn 2, we're going to be able to do flat out. Now, Elio Castroneves is going to have a run on us here, so we're going to cut down the inside. Kind of block him. If he wants to pass us, he could do it on the outside of the track. Cut down the apron here. Pretty solid car. Maybe a little bit too much downforce But it's always good to have too much downforce just because you have to do some pack running. So it looks like Sam Horner's just going to get a run. Couldn't cut down early enough to the low side to block him. He's going to have us beat. We're going to try to do the over-under. Ooh, had to let off the gas to make sure we don't ram into the back of his car. Going into turn 2 here. Now, this game does simulate dirty air. So, like, if a car's in front of you or you're close to the car in front of you, your car doesn't turn as well as if it was nobody in front of you. So you have to be kind of careful if, like, you're coming up on a car, not to be too confident in your turning abilities and find yourself right into the wall by understeering. So we're going to cut back to the inside to kind of block our inside, sweep back out for turn 1. Doing a nice little battle for the lead here. Looks like Cash Nevis was looking inside. He's the most ever going to ever run here. Let's cut to the inside again. He cuts to the outside this time. We're still going to have his side panel there, so he's going to back out of it a little bit. He's going to probably try again and maybe get it down the front stretch. So you can see the tire indicators there. Looks like our right side tires are getting pretty hot. The left side tires staying pretty solid. It's typically because of the banking of the tires. Your car's trying to shift to the right. Whoa, he checks up on me. And your car's banking up towards like the outside wall as you're turning. So your tires on the right side are going to experience more friction, just due to like the gravitational pull or like the force you're exerting on the car when turning. So it's always good to try to manage those outside tires as best you can. Now it's kind of difficult, but I tend to run more of like a tight line, like on the low side of the apron, and then as close to the apex of the corners as much as I can. But since it ruined the tires a little bit faster. Did not hit a good apex there in turn 1. Coming into turn 2 here. Try to hold this edge. Doing a pretty good job holding first place. You can see they're kind of far back. I think I might be even farther enough where they don't have a draft on me, so we might be able to swing back up here at the top. And try to take these corners a little bit wider. Less steering input. This game is interesting too because I can't seem to figure out how to get a wheel to attach this game. So like I'm not doing this entire game right now on keyboard. So I'm just pressing the arrow keys to steer and accelerate. So the amount of like steering control is not very good. So it's very like either all or none. So you have to kind of like feather it a little bit by pressing it down, like click, click, click to feather it a little bit, or just press and hold and then like have it right against the curb there. That's where it comes down to like maybe changing some of the setup of your car so that way you could go full left and it still kind of hooks stuff around, but then you have to be perfect on your apexes or your turns, or else you'll have to lift or smack the wall. So this is, I know it's going to be probably super uneventful, but we're already pulling away from the leaders quite significantly. So we do have 3 laps of fuel remaining, so in the next 3 laps we'll have to pit. We'll probably keep the tires and just get fuel, because I think I could run it with some old tires. I can't remember if the tires degrade differently depending on the shorter lap distances, or if it's just the fuel that's different. I might just do both, so that way it's kind of fair and consistent between the two. No yellows so far. I tried doing a recording earlier today where I did a 50 lap race and I ended up actually winning. But then going back over the audio, the volume of the game was way too loud, so you couldn't actually hear anything I was talking about during the game. So went back through OBS, turned down the desktop volume as well as adjusted my own volume too, so that way I'm not too loud as well. Hopefully it works out. If you're watching this video, it looks like it sounded like it may have worked out at least good enough. It wants me to pit now, but I think I cut it closer for fuel. So we're going to run it one more time around. I think everybody else is going to pit, which is going to give us a good overshoot lap for pit strategy. Try to way slingshot over all the AI. Now this video is going to make it seem like the AI is like too easy, but typically the AI is actually kind of challenging in this game. You have to be really careful because especially on the shorter distances, yeah, they are kind of easy to beat because you can just do a really weird strategy, and they're just doing the strategy based like if it's a full 500-mile race, but you could strategize and do it like it's like a 20-lap race. Ooh, we almost sped the pits. That was could have been really bad. Oh, we're coming out right as soon as everybody else is coming out too. So we'll put a little less wing in it. Fuel, sure, we'll change the tires. We'll go. I put more fuel laps than is remaining in the race just because I want to run that super rich fuel and not to worry about fuel saving towards the end of the race or during any portion of this next 10 laps or so. Pull into a pit box here as everybody else is leaving. Slowest pit crew ever. Especially this right front tire guy. He takes a long time. It's like everybody's done. They're starting to clean up after themselves. He's finally done. And then I even take my time pulling out of my pit box too. It's like no hurry, no rush. Alright, so now lap 10. We're still in first place because everybody else pitted way earlier before us, but we'll see how we blend out and if everybody else catches back up to me. But in my guess from experience playing this game, we're going to have them all beat by a while. Now, I may have seen that one of the drivers, that might be the field right there, so we might not be as far ahead as I thought we were. You know what, we actually might even lose our position too because we're on cold tires. I spoke too soon. Oh, he cut right in front of me and I got cold tires. He almost wrecked my race, dude. Yeah, the cold blue tires and the car swiping across the front of your car. Just removing all that clean air. I was going to spill a disaster. Let's see if I can try to catch back up to Castro Nevis and not get passed by Hornish. Hornish has got quite a run on me. Why are they so much faster than me? Okay, Hornish. I'm going to block you a little bit. Hopefully you go on the outside of me. He's not going to attempt to try to pass me here, so cut into 3 here. Try not to get too high on the wall. Cut down into 4. I think my tires are finally warmed up now. Cut down, so that way Hornish tries to pass me on the outside. Maybe we could try to draft him off the back stretch. And try to catch up to Elio. Hornish actually backs out of it. So he's going to try to get me down in 3, which is unfortunate. Or in the back stretch. We'll hang it low. Here goes Hornish. We'll just use his draft on the front stretch. I might back out even of this turn. He can't seem to get me, but we are catching up to Castro Nevis, so I might want to actually hold my second position as we only have 8 laps left to go. Let's try to see if I can hold position. He's actually got a draft this time. He got smarter. Last 2 tries, he wasn't drafting off me. He's going to swipe across my nose, so I got to be careful. Let off the gas a little bit. So we're going to get a nice little draft here. We're going to be able to probably pass both of them. Oh, are they actually pulling away from me? Oh, no, I'm losing the draft from them. We're going to be able to get them down the front stretch. Watch this. Because they're going to have to check up, being so high up on the turn. The dirty air. Oh, Castro Nevis, don't sweep down. Okay, we'll get a draft off of Castro Nevis. Follow up Sam Hornish. Cut down the inside. There we go. We got first place back. Swing around here. Now I just gotta break the draft so that way they don't try to catch up on me. But Castro Nevis with that draft off of Sam Hornish Jr. might get me. We got 6 laps left. 6 or 5. One of the 2. Come down the front stretch here. Yep, looks like I've gotten enough distance between me and them to break that draft there. Alright, Lion Dice got a pretty fast car, but if you choose some of the other drivers, I'm not sure exactly how it all works, but I think depending on your setup, either makes you faster or slower. And running full rich fuel too also helps too. So, like if I could run it down to like 4, like fuel setting 4, Castro Nevis and Sam Hornish Jr. are going to catch up to me real easy. Maybe I'll do that just for the sake of the video, just being a little bit more entertaining. Oh, we do have to check up in turn 3 though. Coming down turn 4. Oh, hit the corner wrong. We're going to go field mix 7 so we don't get dusted. Draft off of Castor Nevis. Regain some of that speed back. He's going to have turn 1. We're just going to try to ease through turn 1. Stay alive. Drafted up on Castor Nevis in turn 2. Ooh, had to check up a little bit just because I was coming up a little fast than I wanted to on him. Coming down turn 3. He's going to check up. I'm a little bit more gutsy of a driver than he is in the game, but in real life he's way more gutsier than I will ever be, so. Got quite a gap on them now. I got 7 laps of fuel. Maybe overfilled the car too much with gas. I'll lay it down, but it should be alright. Take a low approach to turn 1. Be able to hook it around. Go into turn 2. Oh, really dork up turn 2. They're going to catch up to me. They're going to follow me down for some drafting. Hornish might get me in. Oh, we're going to go 3 wide in turn 3. We'll see if Castor Nevis makes it out of that. He does. I got 4 laps to go. You can hear the crowd cheering. The single audio thing for the crowd. Surprised there hasn't been any yellows. I was gonna try to show you guys what a yellow looked like and do like a replay of the crash. If there are any yellows, I'll most likely go back and show the replay of which AI driver crashed, or if it's even me crash. I'll show you that too. But I think we should have this easy in the bag. We got quite the distance between us and the next set of cars. The rest of the field is way far back there. So we'll swing back around. Now doing like a 200 lap version of this race, almost wrecked there, had to check up bad. Doing a 200 lap version of this race is really difficult. Not only is it super long, but it just takes a slightest slip up like you almost saw there. 18 laps in, and your whole race is over. I think the last race I did, I was trying to do it for 200 laps. I made it to lap 77 before wrecking, and in real life that's real early, but in this game I felt like ages. So go into turn 3 and turn 4, gonna face the white flag, and win our Indy 500, the 20 lap Indy 500. Yeah, there's no shot they're catching up to us.
The white flag is out. This is the last
We'll show like the celebration at the end of the race, as well as everything else. Cut to the inside here.
9/10 of a second ahead of
Lift up a
Castor
little
Nevis.
bit. I can take it super easy and still win, so just do even some like victory, squirms. Go into turn 3 here. Have to check up massively. Don't want to pull a JR Hildebrand. Smack turn 4 due to just dorking up. Go down the front stretch, cross the yard of bricks to win the Indy 500. We'll do some more swerves there. There we go. Super easy. At least that run was. I think we had the fastest lap out of it, the whole field too. Kind of see the other drivers there. Got some trading packs. There's our glass of milk in our left hand. It's kind of weird looking glass of milk, but that's it. That's the Indy 500. So hope you guys enjoyed watching. Drop a like, drop a comment on what you want to see next. I could do some different form of like game challenges, whatever you think would be fun. Different tracks, different stuff like that. For example, I can kind of show you exactly what tracks we have. So we have Indianapolis, Texas Motor Speedway, Pikes Peak International Raceway, Richmond, Kansas, Nashville, Michigan, Kentucky, Gateway, Chicagoland, Miami, Phoenix, California, Nazareth, and then IMS. So those are the tracks in this quarter, half, full, 10, 20. And you can change your opponents and skill levels. So let me know in the comment section what you want to see next, and I'll see you guys later.